So in today's video, I'm going to be comparing the audio with the newly released Insta360 Ace Pro 2 versus the DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro. Now both cameras are going to be filming in automatic mode straight out the box, just so you can get a feel for what they look like straight out of the box. Resolution is going to be 4K 30. The field of view on both are going to be in D-warp, and the high dynamic range is deactivated also on both of them. But when I'm looking at the OLED screens on both cameras, I can see, even in the normal colour profile, the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 has more of a saturated look, while on the Action 5 Pro you get more of a softer flat look. So now let's compare the audio with both of these cameras. I've had to put my ND filters on because that's really bright today. But anyway, just so it's a fair comparison test between both cameras, as you can see, I've got no frames or mounts on there because I don't want anything to be obstructing all the microphones. And that also applies to the Ace Pro 2. We've got nothing surrounding the microphones at all. So let's see how many microphones is on the Action 5 Pro. You can clearly see that there's one on the front there, one on the top, and one underneath. So it looks to be 3 microphones on the Action 5 Pro, but with the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 I can see one on the front with the detachable windshield. We've got one on top, another one at the side there, and then just underneath we've got another one. It's just hiding there. So we've got 4 microphones with the Ace Pro 2, but it seems there's only 3 microphones with the Action 5 Pro, unless there's another one hiding somewhere, but I can't visibly see it. So now let's get some testing with both cameras. On my right we've got the Ace Pro 2, and in my left hand we've got the Action 5 Pro. So both of the front microphones are going to be coming into play here. So which one has got the best audio quality? Is it the Action 5 Pro on my left, or is it the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 on the right? I've got some snow under my feet, so that's going to be great to pick out different audio levels as well as me talking. So let's start walking. Hey, and that rhymes. Right, so on my left we've got the Action 5 Pro. What's the inbuilt front microphone sound like on this camera, the Action 5 Pro? And on my right I've got the Ace Pro 2. So what's the front microphone sound like on the Ace Pro 2 compared with the Action 5 Pro's front microphone? Again, that crunching snow on both microphones. Can we hear much difference with the crunching snow and my voice? And now I'm going to do the same walking test, focusing on the front cameras with the windshield attached. So as I've shown you earlier, we can just pop that off. Be careful, I nearly put it down there then. I'll lose it. And now this has got the foam inside of there, so on paper this should muffle it really, but we're only going to know when I do the testing in a minute. So again, we just pop that straight back on. This clicks into place. Make sure you keep that in a safe place. So now I've attached the windshield. Let's do the same testing with the front microphones. Here we go. Right, so now I'm going to be doing the same tests. Again, I'm stood still first. The only difference is my hat's disappeared for obvious reasons. It's rather warm now. Anyway, back to testing. So on my right we've got the Ace Pro 2, and on the left we've got the Action 5 Pro. So is there any difference with the Ace Pro 2 windshield with that foam inside of it against the Action 5 Pro now? So now let's start walking and talking and crunching that snow, just to see if there's any difference with that windshield attached. Here we go. In these scenarios I've got to be talking all the time. For obvious reasons, I'm testing these microphones, so I'll repeat myself yet again. On the right I've got the Ace Pro 2. I'm crunching in snow whilst I'm talking. Now with that windshield attached isn't any difference at all from when the Ace Pro 2's windshield was detached. Obviously on my left with the Action 5 Pro, that's going to be identical because there's no change there from the previous test. The main focus is with this windshield on the Ace Pro 2 when it was detached to when it's attached. And now I'll put a side-by-side audio comparison up with the Ace Pro 2 windshield attached and then with it detached, just to see if you can hear any audio comparison there. So what's the front microphone sound like on the Ace Pro 2? Can we hear much difference with the crunching snow and my voice? Now with that windshield attached, is there any difference at all from when the Ace Pro 2's windshield was detached? Both action cameras are around 30 centimeters away from me, and they're going to remain that distance as I start walking. Again on my left, it's the Action 5 Pro. So what's the audio sound like on the rear of the camera compared to the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 on my right? Again, speaking to the rear of the camera. Which audio sounds better? The Ace Pro 2 or the Action 5 Pro? And now we've got both action cameras on two identical selfie sticks. They're both at 1.5 meters. Now I'm going to start walking and talking again with both cameras at approximately 1.5 meters away. Again, the front microphone on both cameras are going to come into play here. So let's compare which is the best audio on both cameras. Here we go. So on my left we've got the Action 5 Pro. What's the front audio sound like on that action camera compared with the audio on my right, the Ace Pro 2, again stretched out at 1.5 meters, but I do have the windshield on this one. So now let me take the windshield off of the Ace Pro 2 just to compare audio again. Here we go. So now what does that audio sound like with the front microphone with that windshield taken off? It's just the plastic one which goes back on, as you've seen, and there's no foam obstructing that front microphone now. So the audio quality on the front microphone with the Ace Pro 2 should now sound a little bit better than when that foam was attached. Again, I'll put a side-by-side audio comparison up just so you can see the differences there with it stretched out at 1.5 meters walking and talking with the foam windshield attached, and then like it is now with it detached. Here we go. But I do have the windshield on this one. So now let me take the windshield off of the Ace Pro 2 just to compare audio again. So now what does that audio sound like with the front microphone with that windshield taken off? And now I've got both cameras set up on the floor. We've got the Ace Pro 2 to my left here. On the right we've got the Action 5 Pro. I'm just going to do a little distance test here just to compare the audio levels once again. And to make it as fair as possible, on the Ace Pro 2 the windshield is deactivated just with that plastic clip on, and the microphone is clearly visible. So that's going to be a great comparison with the Action 5 Pro, as there's no windshield surrounding any of the microphones there. So first of all I'm going to get back to 2 meters and talk normally, and then I'm going to get back to 5 meters and talk normally. I'm not going to go any further than that because I've done previous tests like this and you're just almost screaming at the camera and you can hardly hear me. So let's just do 2 meters and 5 meters and compare audio levels there on both cameras. So now I'm approximately 2 meters away from both action cameras. On the left there, what does the audio sound like with the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 at approximately 2 meters away? And then on the right with the Action 5 Pro, what's the audio sound like with that one, again at 2 meters away? Now I'll get back to 5 meters and compare audios yet again. Right now I'm at 5 meters. I'm talking the same level as I were at 2 meters. So what's the audio sound like with the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 on the left there, compared with the DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro on the right there? And what does the audio quality sound like with the Action 5 Pro on the right there? And finally, I've connected the DJI Wireless Mic 2 to the Ace Pro 2. Now that's great how that's compatible with the Action 5 Pro and also with the Ace Pro 2, and that just connects via Bluetooth. So let's just go about 10 meters with this. I'll turn my back to the camera as I'm walking away. If we can balance this thing. There you go. So what's the audio quality sound like? So I've got my back to the Ace Pro 2 as I'm walking away with all this crunching snow. So what does that audio sound like with the DJI Wireless Mic 2, which is compatible with the Ace Pro 2? And now I've connected the Wireless Mic 2 to the Action 5 Pro. Let's just get back over here where we were and try and replicate exactly what I did with the Ace Pro 2, just to see if we can compare any audio differences there. So what does the audio quality sound like compared with the Ace Pro 2 with the Wireless Mic 2 on the Action 5 Pro? Can we tell any audio differences? Again, I'll put a side by side up and then you can compare the audio quality there. Here we go. And finally, I've connected the DJI Wireless Mic 2 to the Ace Pro 2. Now that's great how that's compatible with the Action 5 Pro and also with the Ace Pro 2. And now I've connected the Wireless Mic 2 to the Action 5 Pro. Let's just get back over here where we were and try and replicate exactly what I did with the Ace Pro 2. So on the Ace Pro 2, we've got a few different options with the audio levels there. If you just swipe down from the top, swipe right to left, and just hit the microphone icon. When the built-in microphone's ticked, just underneath that it says audio settings. And if you select that, we've got wind reduction, voice enhancement, and stereo. Now the test that you've just seen comparing with the Action 5 Pro, they've all been set in wind reduction noise. So now what I'm going to do is just on the Ace Pro 2 go through each one of these modes, talking to the camera just to see if there's any difference there. So I'll start off with the wind reduction, then I'll go to voice enhancement, and then I'll go to stereo. Here we go. So today there's absolutely no wind whatsoever, so I've took the windshield off, because if I was to put that on, I'm kind of muffling the microphone on the front there, and there's no point having it on with no wind. So this is what the Ace Pro 2 sounds like with the wind reduction enabled. And now I've switched over to the voice enhancement option on the audio settings with the Ace Pro 2. Again, the windshield's taken off. It's not needed on, for obvious reasons, there's no wind. So is there any difference there with the crunchy snow and my voice speaking into the front microphone with that different audio option there? And now I've changed the audio settings to stereo. Everything's the same. The crunchy snow, me talking, the camera's exactly, I'd say 30 centimeters away, like in all my testing today. So is there any difference in the audio quality there? And now I'll put a 3-column side by side up with those audios, just so if you can see any difference there at all. Here we go. So this is what the Ace Pro 2 sounds like with the wind reduction enabled. And now I've switched over to the voice enhancement option on the audio settings with the Ace Pro 2. And now finally I've switched the audio to stereo. The windsock's off the front. So is there any difference there between the wind reduction, voice enhancement and stereo options? So I hope you've enjoyed this audio comparison video today, comparing the Action 5 Pro's internal audio versus the Ace Pro 2 audio which I'm filming on. Is there much difference there at all, or are they relatively the same? As I've said before, the Ace Pro 2 and the Action 5 Pro are the best action cameras on the market to date. So let's just hope the audio on both cameras are a lot better than the previous models. So as always, do stay tuned to the channel, as there's going to be plenty more videos on the horizon, especially with comparing the Action 5 Pro with the Ace 2 Pro. So for now, thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and bye for now.